Hello, welcome back to the Mondovi line. We're in staging yard today and we're going to talk about rolling stock. If you've been in this hobby as long as I have, which is about 50 years on and off, you may have a large collection of rolling stock. You got the boxes stacked up all over the place. You got trains in staging. They're going to come on and off the layout. And if you're like me, maybe you have some bins on a shelf with some off staging, fiddle yard type stuff. How do you find what you need? And maybe you have even more. And you have these bins, and some of these bins are older, and you've had these and you still don't know what's in them. How do I find that flat car I'm looking for? Some of the boxes are marked, but how do I know which drawers to find it in? Then I gotta carry it all the way over to the staging yard. This is underneath Mondovi. And down here, another bin full of cars. Some of these cars I don't use on the Mondovi line, but I still want to keep them. And then I'm looking for locomotives, and I have boxes of locomotives. How do I find which box they're in? How do I get to them easy? So here's my solution. Where those 6 bins are, I'm going to take those bins out of there, and I'm going to build a box underneath the layout right in that space with 5 drawers, which will be approximately 2 foot deep and not quite 46 inches wide. And each shelf will probably hold, or each drawer will hold 30 to 40 cars depending on the size and how they're in there. So I started scribbling ideas on paper and came up with paper that won't stay clipped. Came up with a box and some sizes of wood that I need, and I figured out I could make the box all from one sheet of 1/2-inch plywood. So our next stop will be Lowe's. Now, before you think I'm a woodworker or know what I'm doing, understand that for the last week I've been watching YouTube videos on how to make drawers and how to build rolling toolboxes and cabinetry and what tools to use and what type of wood, etc. And now I understand that I know even less than I did before.
Outside, please. I'll be right there.
And after having the people at Lowe's cut the wood, we have everything we need for a box. And now we head back home to pretend like I know what I'm doing. And we came in through the cellar door, and we have the wood cut and inside. Okay, there's the left side of the box. There's the right side of the box. I'm using 1x3s and scraps that I have here. Using up the wood, you know how you keep the wood because someday you're going to need it. So we got 1x3s, the drawers will slide on. And I grabbed a piece of 3/8. And this is my guide to keep them the same length apart. And since my drawer bottoms are going to be 1/4 inch, there's a piece of 1/4 inch plywood, and they'll slide in and out like that. Okay, we have the sides completed with the slide for the not yet built drawers. And you can see that the sides of the drawer will slide in on each side here. Like I said, we had 1x3s left over from building the layout, so we put them to use. Next, we're going to build the box. Man cannot survive on sawdust alone. So it's time for a cheese sandwich and a video by Boomer. All right, there is the hole where the box will go into. And there is the box built. Just put the back on it. It's pretty square and it should slide in okay. Next up now, I have to measure the slots for the 5 drawers. So it'll be 1/4-inch plywood across, and then I'll build a box for the drawer to screw onto the plywood. And here we are back at Lowe's. We have our measurements for our shelving. Let's go grab some. And we're back from Lowe's with another load of wood. Take it through the yard and down the doors. Okay, the shelf bottoms fit. Had Lowe's cut them for me since I don't have a table saw. Once I build the square frame of the drawer sides, it will hold them straight. And then I could slide the box under the layout where it goes. All right, the box is in underneath the staging yard. I should have made it 1 inch, not as deep. It sticks out from the legs. I'm not sure how I measured that wrong, but that's just the way it is, and it's the way it's gonna stay. All right, the first drawer is built as a proof of concept, and it seems to be okay. The 1x3s are a little bit warped, but they straighten out. I'm gonna put some soap in the runs, and should be okay. All right, let's go build 4 more. All right, it's 7:40 p.m. Been working on this all day, and there are the 5 drawers for my rolling stock. I have to soap up the runners so they slide a little easier. But if I go gentle, they slide okay. As long as I don't twist them up too badly like this one just did. So we gotta work on that. Maybe sand a little bit of that off. So that one's stuck because it just twisted. I got some door handles or cabinet handles that were left over from our kitchen. So I might put 1 on each side, 1 there and 1 there. So I can center it and slide it. Maybe sand the edges a little bit. And since Joann Fabric was going out of business and they had a great sale, I stopped in and got myself a bunch of wool felt in black, and we're going to line the drawers in that so the train cars have something soft to sit on. That's tomorrow's project. Yeah, they say to be a model railroader, you get to play with electronics, carpentry, artwork, painting, drywall, all kinds of cool stuff. They never mentioned upholstery fabric. Add 1 more skill to the list. Well, the trip to Joann Fabrics netted me enough felt for 4 drawers. I'll have to go back and see if they have anything left because their stock is pretty low because they're going out of business, but I was able to cut some wool felt rectangles for inside the drawer. And we'll be storing our rolling stock in the drawer like said. Okay, we have handles on the front of each drawer. Those were left over from our kitchen upstairs. And the staging yard is cleared out. So now I can actually use it for staging, not storage. Let's see what's in the drawers. Top drawer is 40-foot boxcars. Most of these are Katie brand. Some of them are others. So we got Simonon, Central Georgia, Sioux Line, a whole slew of Rock Island. Those are all Katie's. Some UP, Green Bay and Western, Ann Arbor. And then the right side here we have a couple of Virginia and Ohio, a couple of Delta lines, Ohio Southern, Gory and Defeated, and Fever River, which is a club as well. So these are all home shops or old blue box for freelance railroads. All right, shelf number 2, more 40-foot boxcars. We got our Omaha green and yellow boxcars, and we have a bunch of miscellaneous blue box, and we got a bunch of kit classics from Scale Trains, including those Milwaukee Road and the Chesapeake in Ohio. And then the 50-footers are down here. We got duplicates of this 4402 because the Chicago Northwestern Historical Society had it on sale, and they're the only place to get that number, so I figure I could renumber one of them. We got some Milwaukee Road, Minneapolis and St. Louis 50-footers. These are for the lumber yards. All right, drawer number 3. We have on the left side 2 rows of reefers, and we got a row of stock cars. The Mondovi line in the prototype did all the stockyards on Tuesday, so they ran a train only on Tuesday for the stockyards. And then we got some miscellaneous box cars, blue box, and then cabooses, pickle cars, and tank cars. Drawer number 4, lots of 40-foot box cars, blue box, AccuRail, Proto 2000, a whole mix of stuff. Stuff I picked up at train shows, stuff that was my dad's, just a bunch of it. And then we got a few miscellaneous 50-footers here, some flat cars, some gondolas, and hoppers, although I don't have much use for hoppers on this branch line, so we may get rid of those. These are nice. I found a couple of Chicago Northwestern ballast cars, so I held on to those for years. And finally, drawer 5. These are brand new Athearn ready to roll that I bought a long time ago and have never used. So we have a 6-pack of Chicago, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and Omaha, Chicago Northwestern coal hoppers, coal loads included. And then we have piggybacks. I have a Sioux Line, 2 Northwesterns, 3 Minneapolis and St. Louis, and a Burlington. I do not have a piggyback ramp or any use for these on a branch line, but I'm holding on to them just because they're cool, and maybe I'll use them at some point somewhere. Well, thanks for hanging out for this whole time. Hope I didn't bore you too much. There's my cabinets, and I'm really happy with them. And I am not a woodworker, but I managed it somehow. So I guess that's my first how-to video, huh? So thank you for coming to the Mondovi line. Hit that subscription, hit like, leave a comment if you'd like, and we'll be back to maybe some operation videos next. Thanks.